us today is critically acclaimed science fiction author John Scalzi to discuss his novel, The Last Colony. The 2006 John W. Campbell Award winner for Best New Writer, John is known for his breakout novel, Old Man's War, as well as for his popular blog, The Whatever. Thanks for joining us, John.
Thank you.
Tell us briefly what The Last Colony is all about.
Well, indeed, it is epic. It's in the future, as often science fiction is, and humanity has expanded into the universe, and we have a number of colonies. The two main characters, John Perry and Jane Sagan, are tapped to lead a new colony, and as they go, they have the usual startup problems that any colony does.
Perhaps you can give us a brief background on John Perry.
He was 75 years old here on Earth, and most of his life is completely over. And he decided that he would go and sign up for the Army out in space. Now, what they've been promised is if you go into space, for some reason or another, you'll be able to serve even though you're 75. It's never explained exactly how. It's left intentionally vague, but people figure, well, there's got to be something. And as it turns out, they get brand new superhuman bodies. And on one hand, this is great because you get to be young again. The bad news is 8 out of 10 of the people who join up in this army die within 10 years because it's a hostile, violent universe.
Okay, I'm going to read you something from the very first chapter that sort of captured my interest.
Okay.
And it says, being from Earth in this universe is like being a small town kid who gets on the bus, goes to the big city and spends his entire afternoon gawking at all the tall buildings.
You go out into the universe, it's a brand new experience. The humans on Earth are not cosmopolitan in this respect. They've never been off of Earth. So you go out and you're like, I've met an alien. Or you go out and you say, wow, this is a brand new planet. And what you, unfortunately for you, you go out and you admire all these great buildings and you admire all this, all these wonders of the universe, and the aliens are coming over and they mug you. They don't like the fact that the humans have come into their space, and they're trying to pry the humans off of everywhere that they've landed.
Now you write some very tough, strong female characters.
Jane Sagan, who is the main protagonist in The Last Colony, or one of them, is very much like my wife. She's very strong, she's very independent, she has a very sort of straight line thinking. It's like, this is how we're going to solve this problem. Now, what's really interesting to me is that, of course, no one ever says, well, your male characters are X, Y, Z. It's always your women characters that are X, Y, Z. And this shows that we're still dealing with the issues in science fiction of what are we doing with female characters. Slowly, science fiction, in this sense, is being pulled forward into, contemporary time where women are, they're not a step behind men. They are, they are leaders. They are, people who are in positions of trust. And
what can our readers expect from The Last Colony?
A lot of the issues that were raised in the background in Old Man's War and in Ghost Brigades are going to get resolved. We're going to find out a lot about this universe, about how it works, about humanity's place in it. Even more so, we're going to find out what happens to the characters that have been in the first 2 books. I'm very happy with what happens to the characters in this book, and I do think that it does put a good capstone on this entire stretch of books. So I do like it. I do like it a lot.
So I don't have to read the other books to understand this one.
When you're writing a series, you want to make sure that each book does stand alone, because people will pick up the book and they will look at it, and if they get the feeling that they're not going to be able to get into it, they will put the book back.
Any plans for another book that's set in this universe?
We never say never.
Well, thank you so much for this most interesting conversation.
Thank you.
A powerful, swashbuckling space adventure, The Last Colony, is an unforgettable book that delves deep into the nature of war and human nature. The story is sure to captivate readers from one page to the next.